Alright, you guys. I am all hooked up and I will show you my setup. So these chairs recline. I don't have it reclined right now. It has a heater on it. So there's my setup. It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours, just depends on the time. There's my port all hooked up. So I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna eat my snacks because they give me snacks here. And I will give you an update when I get out. Woo! Look like a hot mess today. Hey, I've got like 5 minutes before I have to go in and get my infusions done right here. And I figured we'd chit chat real quick. So I have a very rare genetic disease called hereditary corpro Porphyria. There is several different types of this disease, and the kind I have has symptoms from all of the types. So with HCP is what we call it, or hereditary corpro Porphyria. It is extremely rare to have this disease to begin with. It's also extremely rare to be diagnosed with it as young as I was. I was diagnosed at 6 years old. It helped having a parent who was diagnosed with it, because my dad was diagnosed with it when I was about 2. He got really, really sick and was rushed to the emergency room one day, and they figured out that he had porphyria. And so basically what it is that your body makes too much porphyrins, and it kind of, the way it's always been explained to me is that basically my body's rejecting itself. My body attacks itself. There is no known cure. There is no real treatment for it. There is a couple management treatments. So it can be classified as a chronic pain disorder, even though it's a blood disease. It affects my liver. It affects my stomach. It affects how I eat, when I can eat. I have chronic vomiting and other issues. Maybe TMI. I have chronic stomach pain where it can be debilitating at some times. And so the only treatments for it is eating carbohydrates and sugar. So yay me, right? And to get dextrose infusions. And that's what I do, because there is one treatment for it called hematin, and that is for people with AIP, which is acute intermittent porphyria, EEP, which I don't remember what that one's called, and then one other type of porphyria. And I can't have that treatment, because technically people with HCP can have the treatment, but having porphyria can actually cause your body to not process iron. So essentially I'm allergic to iron. My body doesn't process it. I'm constantly anemic. I mean, you guys can always tell, like my eyes are always like this. And so what the treatments do, so the treatments I can do is I can do pain management. I can eat the carbs when I can eat. When I can't eat and I'm really sick and I can't control the pain, I have to go in and get infusions done. So I have a port put in my chest right here. It's pretty cool. My kids call it my robot part. They say I'm part transformer. And so I do between 2 and 4 days, just depending on how I'm feeling. Like this week, I'm only doing 2 days. I usually come in about once a month and get 2 to 3 days. I normally never do 4 days unless I'm really, really, really sick. And so this week I'm only doing 2 days. If I need to, I'll come in next week if it's still not doing it. But it's fun, you guys. I mean, it causes so many problems way back in like the 13, 14, 1500s, because they didn't know what this disease was. It basically makes me allergic to the sun. I have that symptom. So the EEP porphyria has the major symptom of being allergic to the sun. And I have that part of it because HCP has multiple symptoms from multiple types of porphyria. So living in Texas, moving from Alaska to Texas was really bad for me. And my health started going way downhill moving to Texas because the sun's out constantly. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm so albino, not to mention that I'm a redhead, but because I don't go outside. And because I can't. Just being in the car and driving, I have to wear sunblock. And it's so much fun. And my health got so bad that I had to quit working, which ended up being really good for our family. So I'm really thankful for that. And I'm thankful that my husband was able to provide enough for us where I don't have to work and I can stay home and just take care of myself and my family. But so backtrack. Back in like the way back hundreds, they didn't know what it was, and they knew we just had a blood disease and we were allergic to the sun, so they thought we were vampires and we were hunted. And so it's actually called the vampire disease. And the joke is first time I ever met this doctor down here, which is so funny. He goes, "Hey, you're the vampire girl." And I looked at him and I was like, "Well, you're lucky. I already had my fill of blood today because you calling me that makes me a little mad." Which it doesn't. I think it's hilarious. My kids call me a vampire. Everybody calls me the vampire. But it can be debilitating at times and very just stressful. And I don't like to dwell on that part of it. And I try not to, but like my entire life has changed from being pretty much healthy, just having issues here and there with my porphyria and being able to manage it myself. And now I have to come in at least once a month to get infusions, and it sucks, but you know what? I'm still here and I'm able to do this, and I'm very thankful for my doctor and these incredible nurses at the infusion center. So I will put a link down below to the American Porphyria Foundation if you guys want to Google any more about it, because it's pretty kind of cool if you look at it. And I will show you guys what I do in my infusion room.